I think America and the world also knows that Iraq no longer has the weapons. And I believe the mobilization that's been done was in fact done partly to cover the huge lie that was being waged against Iraq about chemical, biological, and nuclear weapons.
Can you tell us what you're doing with regard to them? Are you building them? What's the status of your country and nuclear weapons?
In the trigger-happy post-9/11's world, the favored way to instigate a war is to demand that the designated evildoer prove a negative.
Frankly, it would be very helpful if we could get access to bin Laden and Mullah Omar. And I said when I was here in October that I believe that they're here in Pakistan.
Where is Osama bin Laden?
You all have been there for 8 years, you tell me.
Iraq was invaded because it couldn't prove that it didn't have weapons of mass destruction. Iran is under constant threat of attack unless it can demonstrate that it's not seeking nuclear weapons. And now Pakistan is being chastised for allegedly harboring Osama bin Laden, who in all probability has been dead and buried for 8 years. Questioning Pakistan's willingness to pursue bin Laden and other Al-Qaeda leaders, U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton last year told a group of Pakistani editors, "I find it hard to believe that nobody in your government knows where they are, and couldn't get them if they really wanted to." And in a recent interview with Fox News, Clinton charged that elements of the Pakistani government know where bin Laden is hiding. But what if bin Laden is not hiding in Pakistan? What if he's been dead since December 2001? How then does Islamabad prove that some of its government officials are not concealing his whereabouts?
Do you think he's alive or dead?
I've said before that I don't think he's alive.
And you believe that?
I have a strong feeling and I have some reason to believe that because I've asked my counterparts in the American intelligence agencies and they haven't heard of him since 7 years.
While the mainstream media rarely, if ever, questioned the belief that bin Laden is still alive, some cracks have been appearing in the consensus. In a September the 11th 2009 piece in Britain's Daily Mail, Sue Reid wondered, what if everything we have seen or heard of him on video and audio tapes, since the early days after 9/11 is a fake, and that he is being kept alive by the Western allies to stir up support for the war on terror? An even more prominent skeptic is UPI editor whose July 26, 2010 commentary titled, "Elvis bin Laden may herald a new consensus." Sifting much the same evidence as Reid, the legendary journalist stated that some key intelligence officials are taking bin Laden's reported demise seriously. Both articles cited experts who have studied the post-December 2001 audios and videos and concluded they are fakes. In 2007, Switzerland's Dallimol Institute for Artificial Intelligence, which does computer voice recognition for bank security, found that the voices on recordings after mid-December 2001 differed clearly from earlier recordings of bin Laden. Professor Bruce Lawrence, head of Duke University's Religious Studies Department and the foremost bin Laden expert, noted in a 2007 book, the inconsistency between the increasingly secular language of the audios and videos, and bin Laden's earlier distinctive religious speech. Assessing the evidence, Angelo M. Codeviglia, a former U.S. intelligence officer, who studied Soviet disinformation techniques during the Cold War and a professor of international relations at Boston University, rightly concluded that Elvis Presley is more alive today than Osama bin Laden. So, if bin Laden is as dead as Elvis, who's been faking all those scary threats in his name?
وسيقف بوش في الذكرى السادسة للغزوتين ليطالب الأمريكان بعدم سحب قواتهم من العراق وأفغانستان.
Bush, you thought you would be remembered by history as the president who waged a series of successful crusades against the Muslims.
According to U.S. and British intelligence officials, Al-Qaeda's media wing, a Sahab Foundation for Islamic Media Publication, has been run since 2001 by Adam Gaddan, a California-born convert to radical Islam, who now goes by the name Al-Amriki.
The case of Adam Gaddan is really a case study. He was a teenager when he first went on the internet, a son of a Catholic and a Jewish from California who went on the internet and was recruited, initially was converted because of what he saw on the internet. Eventually, handlers of Al-Qaeda made him join Al-Qaeda, and to me he presents one of the dangerous elements that we are facing today as Americans in this society, using individuals like Adam Gaddan, who lived in this country, was part of this community, using his own life experience to describe how great it is to be part of Al-Qaeda. And listening to his messages, which are in English, and they are coming quite often. Just this year we had about 3 messages from him, as you could see, with unbelievable quality, messages in English. Who is he speaking to? He's speaking to our American, or let's say English speakers. This is a new phenomenon, a new trend coming from Al-Qaeda.
Gaddan found his way to the Islamic Society of Orange County while living with his grandfather, Carl Perlman, a board member of the Anti-Defamation League. Ostensibly a civil rights organization set up to fight anti-Semitism, the ADL is little more than a de facto adjunct to the Israeli government, which has even been caught spying on American critics of Israel. Adam's parents changed their surnames to Gaddan in the mid-1970s. The name refers to the biblical warrior Gideon, who with the aid of trumpets and clay jars defeated Israel's enemies. As anti-war editor Justin Raimondo put it, Adam Gaddan is an awfully odd figure, whose sudden evolution from a nice Jewish boy into Osama bin Laden's Goebbels is just a little hard to take. Equally hard to take is the means by which the public learns of bin Laden's latest pronouncements. Almost every statement by Osama bin Laden published on the internet is first made public by Site and Intel Center, according to a Spiegel Online profile of Rita Cates, Josh Devon and Ben Vansk, who founded the 2 companies that supposedly track Al-Qaeda online. Site co-founder Rita Cates is an Iraqi-born Jew, whose father was publicly hanged in Iraq after the 1967 war as an Israeli spy. Cates, who served in the Israeli Defense Forces, tries to downplay the significance of her background but is not always successful. When you grow up in a place like Iraq, she told Spiegel, you understand maybe a little bit about how Arabs think, and also what they are capable of. When Neil Krowetz, a researcher and computer security consultant, analyzed the 2006 Al-Qaeda video of Ayman al-Zawahiri for alterations and enhancements, he discovered that the Sahab and Intel Center logos had been added at the same time. Attempting to make light of the understandable suspicions that the terror trackers are working for Israeli intelligence, the Spiegel article jokes, and the conspiracy theorists pontificating that Site and Intel Center shoot the bin Laden videos themselves will continue to exist in the future. And Cates, Vansk, and Devon will continue to see the humor in such theories. Yep. This is Mossad headquarters. Exactly.
Where is Osama bin Laden?
You all have been there for 8 years, you tell me.
But with the hunt for the elusive bin Laden having already cost thousands of lives and trillions of dollars, perhaps Americans should demand conclusive proof that Israel hasn't conned them into fighting a phony war on terror.